inevitable.
What up, what up, what up? It is another edition of the Acolyte Roundtable. I'm your host, Danny Graham, and I have the usual suspects in the house. My main man to my right is Mr. Nzo Big4 Entertainment. What's going on with you today, sir?
I'm good. How you doing?
And making no fuss. And next to him is the leader and commander of that evil organization known as Cobra. That'd be Mr. Shifty. What's going on?
Not much. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
No battle cry today? I can't believe it. Okay.
No, I'm just
not feeling too well.
Well, I kind of didn't even want to show up today because the episode was so bad.
Oh my lord!
Oh my! Shut up, Shifty! Shut up.
See,
Shifty's on point.
I tried. See, we're gonna go, and then there were three. Okay, all right. Don't show up. Don't show up. Don't show out now. I'm inviting you to my home. You're not gonna walk in with your bedroom shoes on any kind of way.
So we won't be disrespecting Mr. Graham, but we will definitely be disrespecting this show.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. And 1/3 of the spolierkings, Mr. Byron the Grizzly. What's going on with you today, sir?
Feeling good. I actually want to talk about this episode. I want to talk about Acolyte as a whole. I went back and rewatched the last couple of shows, and I have some things that they should have done to make it a little bit better. And I just want to talk about it and hear what you guys think about what I'm going to say.
Wow, some insight. Okay, the dark side flows.
Well, we at least know you got no insight on anything, Warren. So
oh Lord, listen, you're gonna get some profound wisdom coming out of me. That's what I gotta say.
I tell you what, I've been streaming on YouTube for the past X. Now they're saying I gotta have a premium account in order to stream on this platform. Man, these suckers.
Hey, Danny, I'm gonna be honest with you. To be honest with you, I think streaming on X is taken away from the YouTube channels.
It does.
I also think it's bots because nobody says anything. I really think it's bots, and I was considering on stop doing it too. To be honest with you,
I'm doing it right now. I'm not streaming no more. Next is Mr. Warren. What's going on with you, sir?
It's going good. Just been killing it at the gym. Just been working out hard and been watching Acolyte, The Boys, A House of the Dragon, some really good shows. So I'm not watching Interview with the Vampire. I'm not doing that though.
I don't blame you.
It's all right.
I don't blame you, bro.
Even for us, we're good. We're good. You watch
Supercell?
You see Supercell yet?
House of Dragon too?
Not yet.
You ain't watch Supercell yet? Oh, you missed
I
out.
watched the first episode. There's too many things. People keep watch this, Danny, watch it. I can't. There's only so many hours in a day.
What did you think of the first episode, then, Danny?
It was straight.
Yeah.
I will say that. And then I'm also been doing some League of Legends related stuff. So yeah, it's been busy. I can't wait to talk about the episode. A lot to talk about. So.
And last but not least, our youngest member of the crew, he's also probably more well versed in Star Wars. He got like 10,000 books behind him, so he probably can tell us and school us some stuff on what's going on with the Acolyte. And that is Mr. Nzo. What's going on with you, sir?
Really nothing much. I do have a podcast. Super Chat, yes, that's what it's called, every Friday. If you guys want to check that out, you can. And really, I'm I'm here to talk about this shitty show. Yay.
Whoa.
You know,
Now, see here, I sent you a link last Sunday, and I sent you a link today, trying to be nice. But you coming on here, first of all, using profanity on my show. No. And you on here talking about a show that I particularly care for now. So let's go ahead and mind our manners and make sure that you don't walk on my carpet with those shoes. Okay? Gotta take your shoes off at the door. You understand? Thank you.
man, Danny got an itchy trigger finger tonight.
That's right. That's right, boy. I'm itchy. I'm ready. Now,
It's funny. I should have sent you the new Phantom Zones I had for you, Danny.
you should have
I had a
sent
few
me
ones.
some.
Yeah, I got a few ones I'll send you.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get this ball rolling because like this is gonna be like me and Warren by ourselves. So, and that's
Like
cool.
it.
That's cool. What do you say?
I said it looks like it's gonna be the
Yeah, it
true
look like
Sith.
just look like Batman and Robin. So here we go.
I was at the Sith and the Padawan. I mean,
Orange and Robin?
The Sith right now, like he's only one. He's all I got, man. He's all I got. Okay,
You know the world's burning when it's me and Danny teaming up.
I'm gonna say because Robert Storm, my boy, and also did an outstanding response to his take on it. This show has very bad writing. I will not deny that. But one thing that I like about this show is that from episode 1 to episode 7, it has kept me invested and interested in what's going to happen next. So the interestability, if that's even a word, is on 10 to me because I'm really interested in what's going on. And I don't know whether I was joking. I think it's kind of a joke, but I'm serious. He always texts me on Tuesdays, man, you ready to see it again? I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to see it. And I'm actually looking forward to 8:45, 9 o'clock when I come on there because I get to watch it and it gets to answer a lot of my questions. Now, this last episode was very redundant. I'll say that. Very redundant. But it drives the story. The second part of it drove the story. Now, my only criticism is, are they going to have enough time to wrap this up in a nice, neat bow? I don't know if there's enough time to do it because
no way, Danny.
Because Disney Plus has been notorious for not sticking to landing. They'll give you a good piece of a steak, but then if you want medium rare, it'll be medium. If you want rare, it'll be raw. If you want well done, it'll be whatever. It's always one step not enough, or I don't know what the case is. I don't know what a better scenario, but that's what came to mind. So I'm hoping that this next episode will at least keep it what's in canon. And the only way it can stay in canon from what we've seen from the Phantom Menace statement that were made in the Phantom Menace is that everybody's gonna have to die. So how are they gonna do that in what 36 minutes? I think this next episode. Well, it was 44 minutes, but actually stream time 36, 37 minutes. I don't know if they can do that.
Is that the problem though? I mean, one of the biggest problems is they can't they answer questions. They give you good questions, right? They answer the question and then they give you 2 more questions, and they do it at every episode, right? So at the end, now we're in this last episode, but now you have 8 questions to answer and no time to do it.
Yeah.
Byron, I'm gonna say this again. The problem with these new shows, have you ever noticed that shows that have characters that we know, like we know Ahsoka, we know Boba Fett, even though Boba Fett wasn't the greatest thing ever. We know these characters. We don't know no Osha, no Soul, no Quaimir, no May, no Kofar, Kanaka, that the guy. We don't know these people, and they haven't. And with the writing being bad, you can't build up a relate. Now, Soul is kind of carrying in it. That new guy Quaimir is carrying the show, but we don't have no backstory. These are all new people to the lore, so this is why I think people can't relate. Like, I get it.
Well, yes, but for Vanestra, I mean, she's been. We know about her. We know that she's already had a Padawan that almost went to the dark side that she had to save. Like, if you know anything about the High Republic, you know a little bit about her. So there are characters, but I think the biggest problem is that episode 1 and 2 should have been together. 3 and 4 should have been together. 5 and 6 should be together. 7, 8, and they should have been 10 episodes, but all of them back to back. And if they did that, I think some of the problems we have with episodes would go away. some of it.
Oh,
But you know what?
I think they should release all of them at the same time.
Yeah, I think it should have been a movie. It would have worked better as a movie. But you know
Not
what?
even a movie, just release it. Boom. Here's all 8 episodes. Binge watch it.
They could have did that too. I would have preferred it as a movie, but I don't necessarily disagree with Warren though, because he's right. We have all these new characters, and because the writing is so bad, you're not invested in any of them.
Your
You
mic's
know what I
off,
mean?
Nzo.
Yeah, hold on. So you don't really care about, OSHA. You don't really care about any of them. So that's what my big issue is. I think we're correct with that.
Yeah. You don't think that they are focusing on some of them? It's just that they focus on the wrong ones. They give us like, why do we spend all that time on Yord, right? And then he died. And then we focus all on Jackie, and then she died. So it's like they focused on some, but they didn't focus on the ones that are going to carry us through the show.
Right. And then because it's badly written, you don't care about those characters, And then now it's like they're doing things and you wondering why they acting the way they acting. Like, why is that guy acting this way? Why is he want to get back to Coruscant so bad? Why is so crazy about getting these twins? You know what I mean?
He's really creepy.
Yeah, that's what Danny. No word of a lie. That's what I was saying. He's like a pedophile. You go back and you watch the episode, and you see him peeping over a rock. You see him peeping from the house. He's just peeping everywhere, and I'm like, yo, bro, that's some pedophile behavior.
Look, I'm telling you, my theory. If he would have been the baby daddy, it would have made so much more sense the way he was creeping on him. But no, nothing happened. Nothing happened.
You know what?
Try to explain it with
you can hear disheartenment in somebody's voice.
What you say?
I said it's bad when you can hear disheartenment in somebody's voice, and I can hear the disheartenment in Shifty's voice.
Shifty,
man. It's sad.
Well, they tried to explain with Vanestra, saying, or no, it was Indara saying, "Hey, you really want a Padawan?" And that's what it was. It all came down as Soul said, "This is time for me to have a Padawan." And I'm looking at these powerful girls right there. I really want it. I'm watching everyone else have a Padawan. I already want one. It was very selfish, very much self-centered, and always thinking about himself instead of thinking those attachments. He has a lot of attachments. This might be a good time for Soul to end up being a Sith. And end up being,
Soul's a racist. Because he couldn't tell May from Osha at the end of that episode. May come out there and he's like Osha. No, that was May. They don't look alike at all.
No, they ain't a racist now because if it's a twin, I can't tell. Some twins are them
little girls don't look a thing alike.
Yeah, but if you first meet somebody and you don't know their names, you could. Are you Ray? Or are you Jay? I've done that before. For fraternal twins, until I get to know which one is which, you don't know. You know that Ray and Jay are twins, but you don't know which one is Ray or which one is Jay until you actually get time to know them.
He should have known because Osha was the one that he wanted. So
and he definitely wanted her because he went crazy to get that little dark meat. You know what I mean?
Wow, come on.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Okay. I open it up with, I guess, what you want to call my montage. Overall thoughts. Nzo, what are your overall thoughts on this episode?
It was bad. This was completely pointless, just like episode 3. I actually can argue that we don't need the backstory if they just kept it the way it was with episode 1 and 2, and then cut a little bit of 4, and then most of 5 and most of 6, it would have been actually a lot better of a show. You don't need explanations all the time. And this to me was just an example of it. I was bored. It was just another episode 3, and I didn't like it at all. So I almost fell asleep. So,
I will disagree with one part of what you're saying. I think sometimes when you are showcasing a new show, you gotta have explanation because you don't want the audience, unless it's something intentional, Like, why this? Why this? Why? And right now we've been conditioned to want to know all the answers, unless it's part of the plot to drive the story. But if it's not going to be part of the plot, I would want to know where the crime is. What is this? What's his motivation? This kind of stuff. So I think certain aspects of the story, you have to have some sort of explanation, some sort of flashback,
Oh,
just so that the
yeah.
audience knows, like, okay, this is why
Well,
this, and this. But
well,
but you don't have to have it every point of the story. But in some parts of the story, it's essential to keep the audience attention.
Yeah, but this
yes, they
could have
should.
been it could have been done in like 10 minutes though.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
finish your
They
thought.
should.
Yeah, finish
Yeah.
your thought,
Well, they
Android. Now go
should.
back to Anzo.
Okay. They should explain, like Quimir's stuff, because honestly, I think he's actually the best character of
He's
the whole
carrying. He's
show.
carrying the story. He is.
He's legit even better than Soul at the moment. All right, Smilo Ren is my boy right now. But anyway, but I don't think flashbacks are really necessary because, um, really, besides Last Jedi, Star Wars really doesn't show flashbacks. And you know why? It's because George
Mhm.
Lucas hates flashbacks.
Facts.
So, he purposely said that in the behind the scenes of one of the prequel films. So, in my opinion, like the reason why we started with A New Hope and all of that, like he told you enough info that you needed that you can enjoy A New Hope without being like, oh my
Say
god,
it.
I don't
Right.
understand
Okay, but
every line.
say that again. Say that last sentence one more time.
Yes, he gave enough info, and
Okay.
that's
Thank you.
that's the big thing
That's
right
the key
there.
word.
And
These
that's
writers now don't give enough information. So if you don't give enough information,
exactly.
if you want to lose your audience even more, you have to have a flashback. That's why in Boba Fett, I think some of those flashbacks was essential because this man has been gone 20, 30 years, whatever the case may be. What has he been doing? What happened? You have to have that in order for it to make sense. You just can't jump from 30 years ago to now and expect to
Well,
keep the audience invested.
yes, and the
This
sad
audience,
thing is,
casual Star Wars, casual Star Wars viewers, you can't do that.
yeah, no,
Go ahead.
that's
So
true.
so here's what I'll say. You don't always have to have a flashback. You can tell it, right? It could be a point where you actually tell it. You don't always have to show it. Boba Fett had flashbacks almost every episode. We didn't need to
Yeah.
know all of that information. Like all of that stuff we could have seen he was with the Sand People, he was trained by the Sand People, and then they killed the Sand People or whatever happened in that. That's all we needed to see. We didn't need to see this whole drug out little backstory. And again, for this one, I think that the backstory in episode 7 was pretty much a rehash of episode 3. So you could have cut that all that flashback down to like 10 minutes and then moved on with the episode.
Hmm.
So I kind of agree with Ninja. I kind of agree with him.
Okay. Overall thoughts, Warren.
Overall, this episode was the latter half was good. The first part, the first act, not so great. Um, and we'll go into more likes, but overall, I thought the episode was fine. My problem with it is that I keep saying this every week because I want to be consistent. I get this Pulp Fiction feel where this should have been put in episode 3 and would make more sense instead of having it at episode 7, because now if you were if you're going to go back and look at Acolyte, you literally have to look at it from piece from episode, like, oh, if I look at it from episode 3 and then I go to episode 7, then I go to episode 4. You see what I'm saying? It's so
So you're
disjointed.
saying sequentially it wasn't done correctly.
Correct. It's so disjointed that you have to, like, it's like you literally might have to watch the show from once it's fully done, because the way they did this, and I agree with Ninja, and it's like you don't need to do that. The intro to see the Wookiee was great, but we'll talk more about that. Um, I
Oh
got
yes,
some
we will.
I got some dislikes I gotta talk about as well. But overall, I gotta say I'm 50-50 on this episode. The latter half helped. And again, I like overall. I will say I like the fact that we are seeing Jedi be a bit, as the Zoomers say, sus. So
Stop it.
Okay. I'm sorry, Ninja. Were you finished with your thoughts?
Yeah, no. Overall, I just didn't like it. I'll go more into my positives and negatives later on.
All right, Byron. What are your overall thoughts on the episode?
Overall, I didn't have a problem. Um, the whole episode pacing is bad. So I thought the writing wasn't as bad as it's been in the past. I felt like the pacing was horrible, and the pacing of the whole show has been horrible. And I think that's what Warren was talking about with why are you going from 3 to 7 and all this stuff. You hopping around, which you should have just did it as hour-long episodes. Give us a full outlook of what's going on, and then you wouldn't have as many complaints. I think the action still is good. I or at least it's shot well. It's shot well for an episode that spends $20 million per episode for a show that does that. They just some of the stuff looks kind of crappy. Some of the stages don't look good. Like I don't understand how you spend $20 million or 30 minutes and not everything look pristine. I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand their storytelling ways. But I've come to a point where I just realized the show is what it is. And
I think some of that money mostly goes in the location because that place where Quamir and Osha was at looks fire to me.
Yes, but then all of a sudden you look at and they're on stage with all those the witches. It looks like a stage. It looks like a production. It literally looks like a play.
Not
like,
to mention,
what's going on?
You have him using a regular looking metal detector. Really?
There's so many little things that you're like, you spend $20 million. You know, it's funny because House of the Dragon also spends $20 million per episode. Now let's look at House of the Dragon and let's look at this Acolyte. I mean, I'm just there's so many little things that I can, harp on. But at the end of the day, the episode was what I expected it to be. I expected this episode to be episode 5. So my biggest problem is that a penultimate episode should not be what we got this time. You should open more questions going to the finale when you can't finish it.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I didn't mean to interrupt you, by the way, Byron. There's supposed to be a second season. So, hey!
No.
It's
I watched
not
the video
greenlit.
where it's not greenlit yet. They don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go to our likes. Warren, what are your likes?
Well, I
on.
never.
Oh, Shifty.
Neither
Shifty
did
gotta
I.
go.
I intentionally did
Yeah.
that. I intentionally did that. They're-
Oh wow, you're skipping us,
I
Danny?
don't care about that.
Wow. Oh my god.
Okay, all right.
You see the dictatorship already, bro?
That's right.
This
is my show. And I say no.
So
Shifty.
likes.
Where you?
The worst
No.
That was funny.
I was being funny.
That was funny.
Okay, all right, Shifty. Yeah, go Shifty.
Shifty, what's your overall?
The worst type of tater is a dictator. Listen. Yeah. Listen. I thought
the show is my show. So go ahead.
I thought the episode started off fine, and then I was like, okay, we're getting to the stuff we've been waiting for forever to see. The backstory. It's been building up to 16 years ago. What happened? What happened in the Coven? When we got there, nothing. It was such a letdown. They've been building up to this moment, and they spent 2 episodes devoted to a flashback, and it was the dumbest thing ever. It didn't tie into the overall mystery, outside of maybe Coral being, the big bad or something we don't know yet. And it doesn't seemingly tie into Quimir so far. The way the witches died, what? It was a God. I don't know. They could, like everybody's saying, they could have done this in one flashback, and they should not have built up to this second episode because it was such a letdown. Like I said, I came up with all these theories and stuff, and Chris was right. It's like the Vader in the Return of Jedi. Instead of tell your sister she was right, it's tell Chris he was right. They were not smart enough or able to come up with an interesting story for this flashback to where it would tie into this grand mystery. It was a disappointment.
Can I just say something? And again, I just gotta harp on this. If the Acolyte was a young Palpatine, guarantee this show's easier to come up with material. But with the new characters, it's too hard to do that. I don't know who had the cocaine to make up Osha and May. I really don't. I'm sorry, I don't know, because I would have done if we all could agree. The guy the actor who plays Palpatine, I forgot his name. If we saw a younger version and we saw Palpatine, a young version of
Malcolm McDermott or something like that.
Yeah.
Ian McDermott.
Ian McDermott.
Yeah, Ian McDermott.
If we saw a younger version on a series like this,
I agree.
we would have all liked it. I think because
the time frame is too old.
Darth Plagueis, right? Yes. I mean that would make more sense. Darth Plagueis.
If they'd have said maybe 50 years, yeah, we could put it, but 100 years is a bit too much.
And here's the problem, though, right? Because now we're talking about still sticking with kind of the Skywalker saga when you're doing that. And that's what people are trying to say we need to get away from. So you're doing a show on Palpatine, but you're really staying in the Skywalker saga. So you now have to be even more careful about what canon you don't break.
That's true. No, that's really true.
Yeah, but it's safe, Nzo. That's the thing. Like, if they did Palpatine, the thing is, this is going back. This is history already done, right? So there's not like you can reroute Palpatine's history. We know what he becomes, right?
Yeah, but they would. But they did it with Obi-Wan, right? They broke canon in Obi-Wan there. So if you you have to be careful what you do with these stuff because you're gonna break canon. And if they did Palpatine, they would have 100% broke canon.
And
why don't they just go either go Old Republic
or
go 500 years
into the future, 100%.
Just stop.
Exactly.
Like if you go Old Republic, you could do all these type of stories. The Jedi are totally different. Everything's totally different. Or you go totally in the future and say this is where we're going. Like, why are you trying to stay in the same timeline? Over and over again, saying the same stories over and over again.
All right, let's get Nzo overall. Then we'll go back round.
Can I finish?
Yep.
You finish? Are you finished?
Not yet. What I think they should have done, if they had a better mystery to set up
overall. Now, don't confuse overall with.
This is overall. This is going to what we were talking about here. So it's not. It's okay. What they should have done instead of, if they could have built up to a better mystery, they should have just told instead of showed. Just kept on, talking about what happened 16 years ago and gradually build that up until they get to a late series flashback. They said that they based this sort of on Kill Bill. They should have played off of that more because you didn't really know what went on, until way late into the story because they gradually built up. But the flashbacks are so bad because it's the source of so much terrible content. The song, the chanting that they were doing. You got the two little girls who can't act. That's what killed the show is the flashbacks.
All right. Are we armchair quarterbacking? A lot of times, sometimes it's not we armchair quarterbacking until you actually in the game. Then what we see as spectators looks totally different than the person that's actually playing the game. So I think sometimes we might be armchair quarterbacking. Just my rhetorical statement. Nothing going to be answered. Nzo, overall.
Again, overall, I said it was going to be the same thing that I thought it was going to be. It was another boring episode. Few things that were okay in it, but again, it just went back to form to me, right? You had that great episode, and then it went back to form to being pretty boring. I wasn't a fan. I don't hate it. I didn't hate it, but I don't I'm not enjoying it either. Like I'm just like, okay, well, we'll see.
Before we get to the lack, I'm asking everybody a question. I need one word, yes or no. Ninjoy, did this episode move the story forward? Yes or no?
No.
Warren, yes or no?
Yes, it did.
Byron, yes or no?
No, it gave clarity.
Shifty, yes or no?
Nope.
Nzo, yes or no?
I kind of agree with Brian. It gave clarity, but didn't really move anything forward.
Okay. I thought that it moved. Every episode, I think, moved the story a little bit closer. Just want to get that out there on record. Start with Warren. What are your likes very quickly?
Likes. Well, we can see why Wookiees should never be in the Jedi, because that guy manhandled, like, he would have ripped apart those Torben and Soul if that lady didn't interject. Like, and we kind of saw this with Boba Fett too, with that guy, with that other Wookiee. Like,
Like
Wookiees are,
Chewbacca.
yeah, Wookiees are just. I mean, whoever played that was a great fight scene. That's my likes. We got to see the actual magic, because all we heard was I had a homonym from the women, and we actually got to see, like, splitting apart. So I guess that's how they were created, because like the horny lady, the horny. I don't know her name. So just say, I don't mean to be funny. The lady with the horns.
The lady with the horns.
horns. And the other black woman, I don't know their names. Sorry. We now see that they're actual magic. So that was my like.
The white witch, the black witch. That's
the
what
white
I
witch,
said.
black witch.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the last thing is that we're seeing more how the Jedi are not this Boy Scout, that they don't follow the rules, that they can't, that they are they do sneaky stuff, but
But they're human, just like the rest of us.
So yes, those were all of my likes. But yes, I'm sad to say, Kanaka, I wish we had more of him to see that Wookiee fight. That was just great. The way that guy's facing the wall, like, and he was gonna kill him. Like, he was literally gonna kill him. You little
Man,
manhandled.
that you see that scene you talking about good was trash, bro.
Oh my lord.
I agree.
Wow.
Oh lord.
I know. I'll explain why when we get to my dislikes.
Okay, Shifty, quickly. What are your likes, if any?
I probably would have liked the fights if I wasn't sitting there scratching my head at all the stupid stuff. And once they got to the Coven, I think that the standout moment for me was Wookiee with a metal detector. Because that made me think of Spaceballs, and we ain't found,
Yeah.
yeah. That's about it. I didn't like the episode. Nope.
All right, Anzo, likes, if any.
Oh, my likes will be easy. Some of the fighting. That's about it.
All right, Enjoy likes, if any.
Indara. That's actually it. I actually liked Indara. I thought she was actually probably the only good character within this episode.
You talking about the lady Trinity, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think her action in this is better than anybody else's. To me, Soul overacts. I know people say that he's carried, but sometimes he overacts at me. And
well, it's because he doesn't speak English. Yeah,
but sometimes he's still like, okay, you get on my
well,
nerves.
he can't. He can't help it. No,
I'm just saying. For me, I ain't saying
okay.
Just because y'all like it, don't mean I gotta like it.
I didn't say I like it. I just said he can't help it.
Well, I'm just saying. To me, it's a little irritating. Even though he did learn to speak English for that, at times it was a little
bit. I agree with that.
This episode, especially this episode, 100% for that.
Yeah. Byron, your likes, if any.
Actually, I liked a few concepts they brought in there. So I mean, we've always seen, the Jedi use the Force to change people's minds, and I think that they kind of put a picture on what's actually going on, how you go into someone's mind and actually doing that. I thought Mother Anastasia, I would love to see what she was going to do. I thought that it's a great concept. They have good concepts in here. I just don't think they don't know how to finish it out or stick the landing or any of this stuff.
I'm going to market that, man. I'm going to market that. I don't know what kind of T-shirt I'm going to get, but I'm going to market that.
Kilnaka, I think the concept of him was great. They didn't shoot it well, but everything, the actual practice and what they were doing and the battle was good. It just was shot poorly. And I think that's the problem I'm having with the production value of something that's spending $20 million. But it still was dope. You know, Kilnaka, I love to see them. I want to see more. I like the overall what they're trying to do. I just think they don't have enough people in the room that understand Star Wars enough to tell you what you can and cannot do.
Facts.
My dislikes is the first 20 minutes. Like I said in opening, is very redundant.
Your likes, Danny.
Oh Lord. Okay. My likes.
Yeah, your likes.
I was ready to get on. I was ready to get on dislikes. My likes is I like that this show, to me, it carries on. It made me more interested. Like, man, what's going to happen next? How are they going to do this? I like some of the Wookiee lightsaber battle. I have to explain a little bit more of my dislikes on that battle, but I was happy to see that. Never seen that. It was something new. We heard a lot of rumors about it, and people thought they weren't going to get to see it. So I like the fact that we did get to see that battle. I love Trinity. Whenever she's on there, she's always a scene stealer for me. And that's pretty much it for my likes.
So let me say this before you go, Danny. And I'll agree with you. I think Trinity seemed more like a Jedi should be than anybody else in this show.
Facts.
And she must be very powerful to be able to kill the whole coven.
Didn't that make you real like wonder? How did you die from a
that's
knife?
a dislike.
What the heck?
Yeah.
How did you die? Maybe the conscience was intermingled or something. I don't know. But let me transition, and I'm gonna go first. Dislike last fresh on my mind. This right here is what I dislike. I don't think large characters do well in lightsaber scenes. Like everybody rave about Ray Parks and not Ray Parks, but what's the guy that played
Ray
in
Stevenson?
Ray Stevenson. Big, physically big people to me don't make good lightsaber battles because they seem big and clunky. And I'll compare it to, like, if a tall man is in a slam dunk contest, it does not look as good if there's a shorter player making that same dunk. Like, the shorter you are, the more dynamic the dunks look. To me,
you're sizist.
I'm sorry, but in the lightsaber battles, the perfect sight is like Obi-Wan versus not Mace, but Darth Maul.
Anakin.
Anakin and Obi-Wan. Ahsoka against Darth Maul. Even, like, to me, some people say it's trash, but Yoda Dooku, because he was so small and the stuff he could do. I think the smaller that you are in this particular genre, in this particular portion of Star Wars, the choreography looks better. It flows better to me. While Kanaka, whatever his name is, was devastating to see his strength and power. To me, it looked a little clunky at times. It didn't look as smooth and clean as when we see those fierce lightsaber battles when they're going like super fast. I didn't like that aspect of it.
Can I say one thing, Danny?
Yes, sir.
Just real quick. If anybody says that Yoda and Dooku fight is trash, they need to go and really watch Star Wars. I know, Mike.
Yeah.
Right, Mike? If you're watching, Mike.
I didn't care for it.
But
Shifty.
Oh Lord, Shifty.
But again, like I said, the first 20 minutes totally redundant. And the little girls acting, I tell you, they could have prepped those girls better. That sometimes in a lot of movies, sometimes the child can be an irritant. I know a lot of people hate Little Boy in Shazam. Black Adam. It didn't bother me that much. I can see now when people see how he get on their nerves. I can see that because they kind of at times get on my nerves with their acting and stuff. But I didn't understand, like, if she was in mist form, how did the lightsaber penetrate the mist? And I didn't understand that. And this is a lot like Brian said earlier. They give you 2 answers, and they pose 8 questions. So now I got about 6, 7 questions that I hope this last episode will tie up in a nice, neat bow. But only 37 minutes. That's a lot of time. But those are my dislikes.
Let me go
You
next,
go.
Danny.
Oh, you can go next. If you want to, Nzo. Go ahead.
All right. So I've always said, and I said it on the video, like a lot of this is bad writing, right? So first off, we're gonna talk about we have aversions in the Force now. Now we all know what we all know what that means, right? So if you wanted to make Soul's reasoning for
Tell
the
me what that means,
twins,
because I looked up the word virgins. It don't have nothing to do with.
it's just how Anakin was created, right? It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
so it's
Like the
they
Immaculate
feel
Conception.
yeah, and there's like you can
Creation of
feel like
life.
it Force,
Creation of
pretty
life.
much,
Yes.
right? So it's
Yep.
It
versions in
doesn't
the
say that
Force.
when I looked up the word virgins. It ain't got nothing to do with concept.
Well, see, that's the thing. They grabbed
E-
that line from
Emergence.
Qui-Gon and they made it, have a meaning.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah. So now when I say bad writing, you could have easily said that Soul was like, oh, it's a virgin in the Force. They could be the chosen ones. Now you understand why he really wants to get these twins so bad. But you don't even explain. You just say, oh, there's a virgin. Now we all know what the virgin is, right? But
Yeah.
do the Jedi know the prophecy? Is that why they're going so crazy for it? Right? You could have put a little line in there to make it seem like, oh, well, they think it's part of the prophecy. That's why Soul feels the way he does. So it was a simple fix to fix that part. This is why I say it's bad writing. You have at the end where Soul is holding up the platform to save May and Osha instead of holding them with the Force. Why are you trying to hold the platform? Why don't you use the Force on them? And then the platform falls, right? The platform falls. May falls, thinks she's dead. Osha falls, and then he runs to the ledge and grabs her arm. What, did you forget you had the Force?
He should have grabbed both of them with the Force.
Yeah, 100%. That's where the bad writing comes in. And you could have fixed that, right? You know how you could have fixed that? When Soul comes. Yeah, go ahead, Danny.
Especially when Darth Vader and them can grab a ship and hold a ship.
Exactly. Exactly.
No,
So
you
know how
can't compare apples to oranges.
No,
dumbass.
but hold on. Here's how you fix that though. As Soul comes around the corner, he sees the platform with May fall, and then the one with Osha starts to fall, and he uses the Force to either stop the platform or Osha. That's how you fix that, right? It's simple. But now you have people saying, oh, well, why didn't you hold up the two twins and this and that? So again, this is where a lot of the bad writing comes in. Then you have this Padawan who really wants to get back to Coruscant, and he's going all crazy. No, we got to get them back. Let's go get the twins. Soul's like, no, I'm going to go stop him. And then when he gets there, he says, yeah, let's go in there and get the twins.
He joins them.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, this is the bad writing for the show. The show could be really good if the writing was better. The fighting is good, but there's just so much in there that you're just like, why are they doing this? You know? And then the Jedi lie. They lie. Flat out say they're going to lie to the council. If you look at the lore, hatred, lying, obsession, all of that stuff lead to the dark side. Now you could say, oh, well, Obi-Wan kind of lied to Luke, which someone brought up, and he kind of did, but he didn't, right? At the same time, he didn't say that Darth Vader, or your father, he didn't flat out lie. Plus, he wasn't lying.
He said your father was killed by Darth Vader.
Right. And
which
technically,
metaphorically speaking.
Exactly. So he didn't really lie to him like that. You know what I mean? So to just go and say the Jedi are just going to go blatantly lie when you could have at least maybe, here's the thing. If you use what I said, saying they thought he was the chosen one, then you could bring that to the council and say, this is why we went so hard to get these twins, right? we thought they were the chosen one. They could be the chosen one. We needed to check and see if they were the chosen ones, and the witches wouldn't let us take them or whatever. You know what I mean? But they just go with this route where it seems like you're trying to make the Jedi look like the bad guys, and I don't like that. It's not a good look for them. Like, so those are mainly my problems with it. If I could think of anything else, I'll bring it up next. But someone else.
Ninja, I heard you earlier. What are your dislikes?
Okay, so it's just like Hanzo's. Okay, so first off, the Virgins of the Force giving a line that Qui-Gon said in Phantom Menace that didn't really mean anything besides, hey, look, I felt something within the Force around this boy. You know, a meaning that, oh yeah, no, it's legit that now there are multiple virginses in the Force. You know, that there may have been more before Osha and May, that the Force conceived more kids and all of that, like out of the blue, thus tarnishing Anakin's legacy even more.
Facts.
And I don't like that at all. And then, yes, about Torben, him wanting to go back to Coruscant and all of that, being very annoying as well. But the thing is, I kind of liked what they were trying to do with Torben, because it kind of reminded me of a little bit of young Obi-Wan and Phantom Menace. I will admit that. But at the same time, though,
young Ahsoka at the beginning,
yes,
was very annoying.
Yep,
I
that is
agree.
true as well. But at the same time, though, then he all of a sudden is like, "Oh, hey, let's go get the twins." And same thing with what Anzo said about what's his name, Soul, pursuing him and all of that. And then it's like, "Oh yeah, let's go in there." Oh yeah, and that the witch, the one mother, it looked like she was gonna attack, and then she died.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, I was gonna allow you to take her. And it's like, what?
Yeah, that was
Like,
bad.
people
I
do
didn't
that
like that
then,
either.
you know?
Yeah.
And the whole thing, like this whole episode, again, it does not connect to anything that's really going on that's really important. And Anzo straight up said about bad writing. Well, guess what? If you cut episode 3 and this episode out of the story, I think the story works better.
It's too short.
You don't know everything.
It's too short,
You
and you
really-
wouldn't know any of your characters.
Exactly. Like, I feel like you don't need to know about this whole virgin stuff, because why does, like, that's not what Smilo Ren is like. He's not after them for being, for being a virgins in the Force. Why? He just wants a freaking apprentice. So why do you include this stuff? Why do you include all of, like, it? I get it. Leslie Headland is trying to make her own Frozen in Star Wars with these twin sisters and all of that, but it just does not work at all. And then, oh yeah, the Wookiee fight.
Mm-hmm.
Kanaka, it just was not shot well at all. And also, that Wookiee should have freaking ripped those Jedi's arms off. Like, legit. I was like,
I
oh
agree.
my god. Like, at first I forgot, like, okay, this is Torben for a second. I was like, oh, just imagine if Kanaka just ripped his freaking arms off. Like, that would be cool, because we never saw that before, besides a deleted scene in The Force Awakens that Chewbacca did that. So it's like we know that Wookiees love pulling arms off, right? So that would have been great to see. And yes, about the Jedi lying, that is true as well. I don't like that at all. And again, though, like, you had episode 6, so much stuff going on and all of that. And then in this episode, you don't even cut to the present at all. Like, at all. Like, seriously. Like, they could have just started off with Soul just telling May the stuff. And then, what would have been interesting than just seeing a whole flashback episode? Just hearing Soul explain everything within 10 minutes. You know, like, he's just like, and then you see the flashbacks while he's explaining it. Like, so this is what happened, and this is what happened, and then maybe you can have May like start to question things like, really? Well, then why did this happen? And then it's like, then you add that build up to May turning good, you know, like we could see her reaction to Soul telling her throughout this whole story. But again, poor writing. So, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Danny, let me finish because I remembered a few things.
All right.
And I'll do it real quick. So the Wookiee fight, right? Like Nindroid said, the Wookiee should have been ripping off his arm. But what the Wookiee had the dude up against the wall, and he was blocking the Wookiee with his other hand with a lightsaber. The Wookiee should have been strong enough to cut right through him. That was that one. Then you had the witches dying because of Trinity breaking the connection. I didn't like that at all because that just reminds me of Luke Skywalker dying from using the Force, which I don't like. And then the last thing I had was, like you guys said, one of the best characters, Smilo Ren. He's not even in this episode at all.
Yeah. One quick thing where I didn't like either is that how does a child get to tell their parent where they want to go to? That makes no sense to me. Now, if the child was 18, 19 and said, Mom, I want to go to this college or whatever the case may be, okay. But I don't, they 10, 11? And she wants to go, and the mom is like, we're going to let her do what she's going to do? No. You're not old enough to do it. You're going to do what I want you to do. So that didn't make sense to me at all either. But anyway, Warren, what are your dislikes?
Oh, dislikes. Well, first off, we got Torben is still a mystery. Like he apparently, I guess because the whole point about that guy was that he took the poison willingly, right? Because I remember that. But it's still like, okay, why did you take it though? Like you weren't the one that wanted the girl that bad. So why did you take the poison? That's not explained. And now we're going into the next episode. The fact that Soul, who's supposed to be strong, couldn't handle Kilnaka. It was Trinity to come in. It's like, well, what's the power scaling here? Because if you're supposed to be, this pretty decent knight, you should have been able to handle that. But my bad, I guess. Those twins are still annoying. I can't stand them. I'm sorry. As kids, they're annoying. As teens, they're a little bit better. Uh, Not getting to see more of. I thought in this flashback we might have seen Quimir's history, but that's a lost opportunity there. I'm like, why didn't you introduce how he got the back thing on with his back? So missed opportunity. And then also I just don't like the fact that we're getting flashbacks in an episode 7. That's my problem, big issue right there. This should have been in a earlier episode, like just episode 4 was when they should have stopped with flashbacks, in my personal opinion. So those are all of my dislikes. Yeah, that's about it.
All right, Brian, what are your dislikes?
I'm gonna piggyback off that. Flashbacks should be, first off, if you do a flashback in the episode, it should be 10 minutes of the episode while still giving more of the story. It should be a quick thing, and you answer the question and you keep it going, keep the story going. And then doing it in the penultimate episode just doesn't make sense. Doing it that way, I have a problem with that.
Well, let me ask you this, Brian. We see flashbacks all the time in Interview with a Vampire.
But it's only 10 minutes or 50, and they're telling the story. So you're staying in the present while you're seeing the flashbacks. That's a better way of doing things instead of doing all flashbacks, especially in a scene we've already seen. So that it doesn't make sense. It's bad planning. It's bad writing. You shouldn't have done it that way. What you should have done is had Soul explained himself, 7 minutes.
But haven't we seen movies? Because
Mhm.
your response of giving me thoughts
Yeah.
and questions. Have we seen movies in the past where they showed Anzo's point of view, they showed your point of view, they showed Warren's point of view, and it worked?
Yeah, in movies it does.
Is it just
32
not working because this is Disney Plus?
It's because of 32-minute episode.
I got you.
Yeah.
Once again, so
Time
my big
constraints.
thing was those if 1 and 2 was together, 3 and 4 were together. But if you do it's an hour-long, fully developed episode, then some of the flashbacks can work because now it's only a portion of the episode that's flashbacks.
I
But
forgot
once
to
you
say
commit,
one thing.
That makes sense.
I just want to say something. Also, my dislike, but this is a future dislike. Really, this 8-episode thing needs to stop. It doesn't work for
Absolutely.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
They need to stop
Absolutely.
it. I forgot that was my last dislike. This 8-episode
Absolutely.
thing, it does not work for Star Wars.
And Supercell was only 6. I'm like,
Yep.
what are we doing here? Why are we getting these small seasons,
It's
man?
called
They didn't have the
money.
money. They didn't have the money. Supercell didn't have the money.
Probably
That's
not. Yeah.
Star Wars it's $180 million they spent on Acolyte. They had the money. They just chose not to do it the right way. So I have actual issues with that. I don't have a problem with the idea with the Coven dying with the Force stuff because I think we're going to get into it. I think that some of that stuff is going to be explained later, and that's something that can be explained. I don't like the idea that Soul killed Mother Anastasia like without knowing. She was the only one on your side, the only one that was listening to you at all. So why are you killing her without you don't know what's going on? Well, she goes to the little girl. Who the F cares? Like, what about that's going to be threatening to you? Like, I don't understand what he's doing at all because he's acting more and more like a Sith, and like he could be the apprentice for Quimir than anyone else.
Yeah.
He's been the one. No, I'm saying he said I'm no longer a Jedi. He gives up being a Jedi and then goes for Quimir's looking for an apprentice too. So I mean that will make almost more sense because he's doing everything he's doing is very Sith-like.
Yeah.
And it's like if you're doing this, but then now to put a bowl around all the stuff that they've opened, I don't know how the hell they're going to do this. And I have a problem with doing those things. I don't have a problem with the Wookiee being powerful. I think beauty things like in baseball, you have beautiful swings. Some are for power, or some are for just singles. Those are beautiful swings, right? And the power ones are just as awesome. And you see it in samurais when you have a double-edged sword going against someone who has two, it's something you see, and you can see the difference in the style. They just shot it poorly. If you're going to do it, shoot it like an old Chinese flick. Like, show it that way. And let's understand how powerful he really is. And I think they missed opportunities with doing those things. It just, everything comes down to good ideas, bad execution. Good idea, bad execution.
Dan, you mentioned the big sword thing. You have to remember that because we were talking about how big, and it's really quick. Remember in Ahsoka Clone Wars when she fought Vader? Vader's a big in that suit. He's really tall, and he's actually a very big opposing character. So it's not that again. It's kind of what he's saying is that if you did it right, like just because you have that size, like Balin and
but
Vader.
I'm not a fan of the Vader fights like I am of the sequel fights. I know that's going to piss some people off, but I don't think that Vader fights in the Star Wars are as fluid as the other ones. I just
it's not meant to be fluid.
But you like the Obi-Wan though.
You can't be fluid because remember, a lot of the Sith always had some machination on their body, which that they relied more on power than finesse. That's why, like, if you saw even Balin, his strikes were literally sending Ahsoka to near Africa because they were just that she couldn't handle it.
I agree, but if you watch the Vader that was in the Obi-Wan series and the Vader's in the Star Wars, there's a tremendous difference. He moved more fluently, especially if you watch what's the one that Anzo like. I know, I'm just saying. The Star Wars in that particular episode, he seemed more cold and more calculated. Because like when he pulled a woman out the house and snapped the neck and do that kind of stuff, and then doing the Carter blocking and stuff, we never seen that before. That appeals to me more than the fight between him and Obi-Wan and him and Luke. Well, him with Luke Skywalker, it wasn't bad, but it just seemed more robotic and more stiff versus what we see in Revenge of the Sith. That fight prior to him becoming Vader, and then what we saw in Obi-Wan, and then what we saw in what's that movie? God, the one that in the last 3 minutes he's just wrecking shop.
Rogue One.
Rogue One.
But you
I
see,
think
that's
intentional. That's intentional because he's becoming more and more machine as he got older. They added parts. It wasn't like he was what he was a finished product. They added parts as he got older.
Right, but that's Disney stuff, right? Because George Lucas has always said the reason why Anakin fights the way he does, or Darth Vader fights the way he does, and is like that, is because he's not as fast, because he's more machine than anything. So George Lucas made it a point to make him fight like a machine. It's the Disney stuff that decided, well, no, we're gonna make him fight like a human, or like he's not robotic.
Oh man, I'm not disagreeing with the explanation.
He's just saying that he doesn't like
this product versus that product. Is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. One more thing before I'm done. I just want to read what a Vergence. A Vergence is in space is where the force is strong and flows freely, allowing it to be manipulated or used by force users who connect with it. It's also been called Force Nexus. So it's like a meeting place where strong channels of the force are all around them, and you can use it. It's not Vergence of just it creates a life, not just babies. It creates all types of, like, planets could be created around this idea of a Vergence, of a force nexus. That's what it is. So it's not just the idea of creating a child. It's an idea of creating all things.
So that's the Star Wars definition.
And that's the Star Wars definition. Where you can even think like the force nexus of a Big Bang, creating all things from this, and that's what they're saying. So that's why. But that's why that shit.
Right, but that's why they were mining the planet with the detector there, the metal detector. That's why they were doing it, because they thought the planet was the Vergence until they realized it was the girls.
Yeah.
Right, but
they should explain what the hell a Vergence is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's bad writing. That's why the show was bad writing.
Well,
Shifty, what are your dislikes?
Well, I'm piggybacking on everything everybody's already said, because but there's some things I need to point out that I've read over the last week about the Vergence. It gets even worse, because Leslie Headland had an interview and she said that the twins are not the Vergence. It's something else on the planet, and she can say why, and it makes it seemed like the whole show was pointless with her saying that the twins aren't the Vergence. I mean, what? Unless they reveal it in the final episode, we wasted our time. I don't understand.
Well, I seen the same interview, and if you really check it, she contradicted herself so many times. At some point, she said they're not the Vergence. Then she said they were. Then she said they weren't created by the Force. Then she said they were. So she contradicted herself a lot.
I saw it too, and no, it wasn't that they're not the Vergence. It's like they could be. I think she said they were created by the Vergence, but they're not the Vergence itself, and they're not the main thing created from the Vergence. So there are more things created from the Vergence than just the twins.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. So
you reckon the witches are in tune with the Vergence, and that's how they could use their power?
I think they just got lucky. They felt it, and then they just happened to be there.
Okay.
Also, the things I didn't like, just the dialogue. Some of the worst dialogue I've ever heard is in this episode. It's when Coral pulls May into the hallway, and she says, "Get mad," instead of get angry, or give in to the dark side. My daughter, or something. She just goes, "Get mad." I don't what. Also, the Charles Xavier moment, I didn't like that. I don't. That's something we don't really need to see. I don't. That went too far. It opens too many doors into Star Wars lore that I don't.
When Trinity used to put the Force.
Well, no, when Anastasia jumped into Torben's mind, I don't think we need to go that far into the mind melding sort of thing. It just pushes it into more of an X-Men sort of field. I didn't like that. About Torben, though, some backstory on this. Supposedly they had been on the mission for 9 months, and he was desperate to go home because people are saying that he was a master swordsman, but for Padawan, and he was just he wanted to go back home, and or be put on a mission to where he could actually use his skills. And if you think about it, he's the cause of everything that happened. So that's why he took the vow of silence. So that's why he wanted to kill himself, because everything went down because of him. Also, only 2 of the Jedi lied. It was Indara and Soul, and Indara, she knew that Soul had to train him, and they would get in hot water. So, and the Wookiee took a vow of silence which is cool. I read this, and because he let his claws loose. He was a mad claw. That's from like one of the video Knights of the Old Republic. There was a Wookiee who was a mad claw, and he used his claws. But the Wookiees aren't supposed to do that, so that's why he went into like purgatory, whatever, or and that's why he stepped away from the Jedi Order. But actually, those are things I like. But y'all had just already listed everything. It's just a trash episode.
Okay. Do we have any? Well, what are your grades for this? No. What are your predictions, if any, Warren, for episode 8? What's going to be the prediction? What do you think we're going to see? Or you think we're going to be satisfied, or think we're going to be still scratching our head?
Okay, 1, we're going to be left scratching our head. 2, it's going to be a cliffhanger. 3, we're going to finally see the master. 4, 2 people are going to die. That's why I'm counting at least 2 people are dying in this episode. And 5, we will get some answers, but not enough answers. So that's all of my predictions. Yeah. Oh, and OSHA is going to be trained, and we'll see more of that. So.
Okay. Then Joy, what are your predictions? He said he'd be right back. Yeah. Byron, what are your predictions?
I think that we will find out who the Sith Master is. I think that the Sith Master will kill Quimir and take Soul as his apprentice.
Wow.
Okay. And that will be like this big thing. And then I think also both May and OSHA, we're focusing on them, but that it's a bait and switch. They're going to both go off and just do their own thing and leave both, the Jedi and Sith alone together, because they're 2 parts of one. They're just going to take their ship and then go off. And yeah, I think we're going to find out that most people die, except for, I think Soul will be someone that we're going to see later, or even someone who trains under someone, and we'll see the master. So, I mean, I think it's going to be an interesting thing, but I do believe they're going to have a cliffhanger, and we're going to be like, what the hell happened? And we're going to come back here next week and say, guys, they almost had it, but they left too many damn questions.
Okay. Nzo, what's your predictions?
Well, I think that the girls are some sort of dyad, and I think they're going to come together towards the end, and they're what's going to help kill whichever bad guy they're fighting. I would like to say that they're going to kill everybody, because they'd have to do that to fix what happens in the future, right? With the Phantom Menace and all of that stuff. But I don't see that happening, right? Especially with the fact that they're not sure if there's going to be a season 2, which means I have a feeling they will kind of end it in a way to make people want a season 2. And yeah, so that's what I think. But I don't think they're going to kill everybody. I think the twins are probably, I don't know, maybe get trained as Jedis or something. I don't know. I really don't know. But I just don't have faith in them sticking the landing at all. I don't.
Okay. Shifty, what is your predictions, if any?
I think we're going to get a small flashback to find out what happened to Coral and how May wound up with the masked stranger, Quimir or whatever. I think everybody's going to die. because at least all the Jedi, because they released a picture of Vernestra in this like white gown type uniform. It looks like almost like something, like a funeral, something she could be wearing at a funeral or something. So I think everybody's going to be killed. Plus, I think that builds on the theory that Tenebris is the big bad, and the twins are the dyad. And I think we're going to see what Palpatine was supposed to do in that god awful last Rise of the Skywalker, whatever the name of that movie was. I think that's going to, somehow bring him back to the forefront. Like he gets strength off the girls and they get killed too. Hopefully, because that girl can't act. And Headland said that she maybe want to focus on Palpatine and what's a Plagueis next season. If it gets green.
Why
Please
didn't
do
they
that.
ever talk about Vernestra, like what her powers are? She said she doesn't like traveling, and going to work speed, all that stuff. They never talked about that. Like they dropped that little nugget and never came back to it, knowing that she sees the future. It's like she communes with the Force, so she could see the future and know what's going on. And they dropped that in the episode, and then it was like a dead end, and they stopped. What the hell?
Yeah.
Why?
You know what? I really hope it. I'm not opposed to this getting renewed. I just think the best thing would be is to get rid of Headland, and then she would take her wife with her, so we could get somebody better playing Vernestra, and we get a whole new writing team, and this show could be better. I mean, the concept of having like a show set in that period is cool, but I don't see how they would let her return right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then George, what are your predictions, if any?
Okay, so I do think that the twins are gonna face each other, and then May is gonna convince Osha to turn back, and then they're just gonna leave both sides. Honestly, and then yes. Tenebris, 100%. I think he's connected because the planet that we saw in episode 6 is the very planet that he was in the Plagueis novel. So, yeah. And I do think Mr. Smilo Ren might get sick of, oh man, I don't have an apprentice. So now I'm going to start the Knights of Ren. Because the Knights of Ren does date back this far. And his helmet looks like a Knight of Ren. They play Kylo's theme for him quite a bit. So I think he's 100% going to start the Knights of Ren. And I think that lightsaber is going to be the Ren sword that's in the Rise of Kylo Ren comics and all of that.
Can I
worship and all of that. Yep.
Can I? Okay. Also, Leslie Headland, she said in that interview that, or somebody had asked her, the music they played, does it tie into like the Knights of Ren? It says the beginning of it. She said, that's an interesting theory. Wow. She kept saying, wow. So, I think that might be where they're going. But the big thing is, I really think Tenebris is going to show up next week because it's been rumored for weeks and weeks and weeks that the guy that played Martian Manhunter on Supergirl, he has a mystery role and he hasn't shown up yet. So this week,
that is true. That is really true. And then the next few seasons, because apparently Leslie Headland has a plan for 5 to 7 seasons of this.
But why would they bring him on there for one episode? That don't make sense.
Because he would set up the future.
2, because he is probably what's Quimir's master. So then he's like, oh well, Quimir just was trying to betray me, and now he's leaving to make the Knights of Ren. I need a new pupil, and that will be Plagueis.
Yeah,
exactly. So then we would get the next few seasons with Plagueis, and then the last few seasons would be Plagueis with Palpatine. then.
Okay. So
But I don't want to see
said
that.
6 or 7 seasons of this?
Yeah, I don't want to see that at all. No, I'm too scared that she's gonna screw it up. You know, it's like the Plagueis novel is one of, if not the best Star Wars novel of all time. And I mean, like, you don't have to. Go ahead.
I'm on the other side of the fence. I want to see these EU books come to life. I want to see the ruler.
Oh yeah.
I want to see Darth Bane. I want to see all that stuff. So
well, yeah.
So I wouldn't mind seeing it either, but they gotta get better writers and better storytellers and stuff like that, because we're just gonna see the same old stuff we've been getting from them. And you gotta really understand that a lot of it is not good. You know, you may have a little something here, Mandalorian and that, but a lot of what they're doing is not good. They need to fix that before we start getting into all of these other stuff they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I want to point something out. All of us listed tons of dislikes, but I guess it was so awful we put it out of our mind. The absolute worst thing about that episode was the closing.
Oh my God! Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! I can't believe we stopped.
Like,
I can't believe
May started a fire, and what it said.
No.
Yeah.
Huh?
The last sentence was May started a fire, right?
No, Danny, you didn't, because we stopped the stream, right? The end credit scene has a pop song.
Yeah.
Don't you know
yeah. And that song, they actually tried.
Huh?
It's some song that they made for episode 3. Yeah, and they tried to get people to buy it for Father's Day for their people's fathers, and I was like, whoa, what? It's awful. Go back and listen to it. It's terrible, and it will get stuck in your head.
It's funny because, like I said, we stopped the stream, right? So I was talking to my son. He was like, "Yeah, we're like episodes trash, whatever." And he said, "Yeah, but what was that pop song?" I said, "Pop song? What are you talking about?" So I went back and I was like, "What is this? What were they thinking?" Bruh.
It's called I Own It. I've been telling y'all this how many years? Y'all should get tired of me telling y'all this.
We're not. You can own it.
When you own something, you do what you want to do.
100%. But you're killing the franchise when you do stuff like that.
No, you're not, because we're still watching it. The only thing you and I have not watched, Nzo, in all the Star Wars mess is Andor.
Yeah,
love it.
And if it wasn't for these round tables and the watch parties, I probably wouldn't be watching this either.
Well,
I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it.
To argue against Danny, to argue a little bit, you know, we watch this stuff and all of that, but at the same time, though, we're not excited to watch any of this. Like, when Force Awakens came out, we were all hyped for Force Awakens, and after Force Awakens, we all left the theater like, oh, who's Rey's parents? Who's Snoke?
Yeah.
We spent 2 freaking years theorizing on all of that. I remember at my lunch table at school, freaking my friends and I would talk hours upon who is Snoke. And Star Wars as a fan base was kind of united, you know, like we all were anticipating the next release. And that is what Star Wars is. That's what the prequel era. We like the prequel trilogy. I did not grow up for the prequels, but no, I know a lot of people that did. Everyone was excited for Phantom Menace. 100. Everyone was anticipating Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith 100%, just to see Vader, you know? So, like...
But what I'm saying is...
Now...
What I'm saying is, as bad as Star Wars is now, Disney Star Wars, all of us on this panel, I do believe, when the next Star Wars movie come out, we're going to be there on opening night.
I don't think
movie? Absolutely not.
I don't think
the next Star Wars movie.
Yeah, it's the Rey movie.
No, remember the next.
Movie.
No, the next movie.
No, it's the Mando movie.
It's
the next movie's the Mando one,
and we'll all be there.
Remember.
Even that I don't care about.
Yeah, it's gonna take the generation after Ninja to kind of weed Star Wars out of our systems. I'm just telling you now, as bad as Star Wars is, I'm telling you, the opening night, Danny Graham is going to be there. I can't speak for Brian. I can't speak for Warren. I can't speak for Nzo. I can't speak for Ninja or Shifty. But this guy right here,
Well,
is going to be
still
there.
watch it. I was going to watch it with
Yes.
a big hood on and walking around like a Sith Lord.
I mean,
I'm gonna watch it. I'm not gonna rush
I
to
will
watch
it.
And the Ray
If
movie,
it's a fire on trailer, Nzo, because as bad as the Rise of Skywalker was, when I saw Ray running down that salt field and did that somersault, that lightsaber, and cut off the wing, I was sold. Did I get bamboozled? Yes. But when I saw that trailer, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's gonna be fire."
You see, that's. Sorry, Danny. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go
ahead. You first.
I'm just saying I was bamboozled. Sometimes these trailers can fool you. Sometimes these trailers can be like, man,
they catfish you.
Just like right now, I think that Beast Within is gonna be fire. I hope when I get there, I'll be like, man, they showed the best stuff in the clip.
Hold on, Warren. Before I forget. I will tell you, I was not bamboozled because the first thing I said when I seen that trailer is, why isn't he firing? Why is he just flying after her? Why isn't he shooting at her? Right? It would have been a lot cooler if she was either dodging the shots or if she was using her lightsaber and blocking them some sort of way. You know what I mean? But you're just running away from a ship that can shoot. Why the hell is the ship not shooting? Right?
I feel like if somebody got a car trying to run you down, Lonzo, but then that
but a
last
car can't shoot.
I'm just saying, but it's the same analogy. Well, if somebody do something and all of a sudden this sucker run, or prime example, we saw these movies where the man is running against this big armored truck or tank, and then the last split second, like he's gonna hit him, he jumps over, flips, drops in a grenade, flip over, and avoids the damage. You're like, man, what in the world? That's Jason Statham. What are you doing?
Oh,
that's the same effect that I got when I saw it. That's the same effect.
All I was gonna say was that
the reasoning.
Hold on, go Warren, then Jordan.
Oh, I was gonna say that we still need Ahsoka season 2, the Outer Rim, and Outer Rim story with those people that the Jedi that escaped, and we need I think one more. Oh, Mando 3, and then we get the Thrawn movie. So we're getting a movie within 3 years.
I don't think we need any of it.
I don't. It's.
But hold on, Ninja is supposed to go.
Once you let Ninja go, then you go next year.
Okay.
Go Ninja.
Well, okay. First off, I was actually just gonna say the reason why Kylo did not shoot at Rey was because he did not want to kill her. He was actually just trying to unleash her inner dark side, and technically he did. Finally, with the Force lightning, with pulling that ship. If you remember, but no, I'm just saying that's legit the reason why. That's what the novel gives. We can go back to the other thing though.
Okay,
go ahead.
Ninja. I mean, I'm sorry, Shifty. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see the heir to the empire for like at least 7 years because they got to do the Ahsoka shows. And if there's like 3 seasons of Ahsoka, there's going to be like 2 years between them. And Rey's coming out first, supposedly, or the Grogu movie, and that's probably not going to be for another 2 years. And then it's going to probably be 2 years between those movies. So
I'm approaching.
You're not getting heir to the empire in 3 years. No way. There's no way it's happening because
they already They announced it. Remember, 2000. They already announced.
Yes, but
hold up. One moment. Just give me one moment to finish my sentence. Me and Anzo had even talked about it before, like how they came. They literally said that a Thrawn movie is supposed to come out within about 6-7 years. We're now in year 4, so that's not. You're not. Yes, so you're telling me 20. Would that be like 2030? We're getting a movie. That's not happening. You want to put money on it?
I'll put money on it, sure.
Okay.
I'll give you $5 Amazon card, but let me tell you.
Well done.
But you know what? I agree with Shifty. because if you think about it, the lineup that they have that they got to put out first, we're not going to see that for a while. Yeah, he's right.
They haven't even gotten the director for all this stuff. Like, I don't know what you guys
Exactly.
talking
Y'all
about.
gotta remember one
Long
thing too.
time to
Now
make
these
movies.
announcements were made
Legit.
under Bob Chapek. Now Bob, I can come in here and he's wrecking shop. He's destroying a lot of stuff. So we don't know what on his timeline.
Iger. Well, these movies were announced under Iger's reign, and so far the Mando and Grogu movie will be the first movie out. Why? Is because the Rey movie was originally gonna be that, but because of the whole director backlash, they quickly announced the following week. Oh no, it's the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. They basically grabbed season 4 of Mando.
Yeah.
And they go ahead, Shifty.
Well, who's going to be the big
I'm
bad?
just piggybacking on what you said. I don't know.
Probably, you know what I think? The Shadow Collect. Wait, no, not Shadow Collective. The Shadow Council.
Yeah.
You know, the Council of the Imperial Regiments. I feel like we're going to get
way off topic. I want to ask this question. Do we believe Moff Gideon is still alive? Because he would be the natural big baddie.
No. I hope not.
He didn't sign another contract, so no.
Okay. All right. Okay. Grades. We'll start off with Warren. What'd you give this episode grade?
I'm gonna give this a good old. I'll give it a B minus. I'll give it B minus because it fills in gaps and I give it B minus. Yeah.
Okay. Brian, what'd you give the grade?
I actually give it a C.
C. Okay. Not bad. Nzo, what'd you give it?
F minus.
F minus.
Yes.
Okay. I know what Shifty gave it a Z. What's your grade, Shifty?
D minus. I mean, I may rank it higher, but I don't have the heart to watch it again. Outside of maybe going back and watching the Wookiee fight, because I kind of missed that, but you know.
Okay. Nzo, what's your grade?
A D.
D. Okay. My grade is going to be a C plus. C plus B minus, because like I said, in my mind, it all these episodes move the story. There isn't one that was fluff. Redundancy and fluff is two different things, or filler is two different things in my mind. But to me, it really sticks the landing as far as making me interested in what's going to happen next. A lot of these Disney shows, you'd be like, oh, I don't care. Now, it isn't the level where I'm going to get up at 3 a.m. like I did when it first came out, like WandaVision. I'm not going to do that. But 9 o'clock suits me just fine. And like I said, every Tuesday, me and Nzo are texting, hey, you ready to see this? I know some of it's fun, some of it's joking. But
no, some of it's serious.
Yeah, but I'm ready to see it. So it does check the box on that.
I wish they would drop all the shows at 9 o'clock. I really wish they would do that and stop doing this. Well, for us, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. But I really enjoy the 9 o'clock drops. You know what I mean? We get to do watch parties and stuff like that.
That's
so
the
I wish they
smartest
would do
thing
more.
Disney done for us.
I agree.
Service.
Yeah, they need to do more of that.
Okay, gentlemen. Nzo, where can they find you at, sir?
You can find me on actually a channel called Superhero Network, where I do super chat every single Friday. We just talked about Captain America, Brave New World, so go check out all of that stuff. And I'm also selling my Star Wars collection. So if anyone wants any Star Wars related stuff, go ahead and message me privately. All right. And thank you, Danny, for having me on.
No problem. I definitely you're invited for next week, the finale. We'll go ahead and knock that out of the box. Warren, where can they find you at, sir?
Nowhere.
Mr. Warren.
See?
Warren. Earth to Warren.
I'm sorry. Oh, I had someone talking to me. Twitter.
Yeah,
That's it.
Okay. Cobra Commander, where can they find you at?
You can find me on the Twitter and I also on the YouTube. I actually released like 3 videos this week of some figures I picked up. The Indiana Jones figure line isn't too hot, so yeah.
I got you. Mr. Byron, 1/3 of the Spoiler Kings. Where can they find you at, sir?
Hey, I'm on part of the Spoiler Kings. We're gonna be on Mondays and Thursdays at 9 Central. Actually, Tank is gonna be getting out of here for the net. Starting 2 weeks, he's gonna be gone because he has another little one about to be born. So we're probably gonna be doing a lot of things where I'm gonna be sending you guys a lot of links. So,
Look
so if
at
you want to see all these guys on
now
every
he needs
Now
to-
they want to
now-
send the
now
link.
they-
Yeah,
now
I
they want
know,
to-
it's
right?
my
When
show
they
again.
need
So
us.
if it's just me, I'm gonna bring you guys on. That's just what's gonna happen.
That'll work. Mr. Nzo, where can they find you at, sir?
You guys already know the channel, Big Afford Entertainment. I am getting back into Street Fighter 6 and I am looking for some competition. I know Brian said he added me to his PlayStation, but he's scared. And the rest of you guys, man, add me up if you want to battle. I'm ready.
All right. And I am the host, Danny Graham. You can find me Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday, mainly on my channel, The Road to Wisdom, where I try to impart a little bit of spirituality and a little, and in my mind, common sense. Some people may not always agree with what I'm saying or my take on it, but I try to research everything I say and try to give an informed and intelligent perspective on whatever particular topic that I bring up. Before we got here, this has nothing to do with Star Wars, but if you're an American, you should really be looking at this upcoming election. Right now, the country, in my opinion, is in trouble. And we need a leader that's going to lead us out of this. Not someone that's going to make it great, not someone that's going to do all this kind of stuff, but someone that's going to do what they say. And what they say should be morally right, in my opinion. There's an opinion that state and religion, the church and the state should not intermingle to some certain extent. I believe that, but there's sometimes when you get to tap into a higher power. I believe in that higher power. You don't have to believe in it. I'm not trying to force my opinions on you, but I tap into the higher power when I am confused, when I don't have clarity. It gives me clarity. So right now, the 2 leaders that we have that's running for it, in my opinion, both need work. But what I suggest everybody do is you look at the Republican platform, you look at the Democrat platform, and you try to line up which one is more morally right, and that's the direction that I'm going to use. That's the metric that I'm going to use. So I just encourage you, man, if you're serious about trying to make a better place for yourself and for your loved ones and for your generations to come, then you're going to start taking these elections more seriously. And I think in the past we haven't. And don't get stuck in tradition. Just because your parents did something, don't mean that you got to do something. You become a critical thinker, become a researcher, and look at yourself. You look at the through your lens, because sometimes your lens can be different than your parents, your loved ones, whoever that you trust. Sometimes it's just different. So don't get caught in that cycle that you got to do it because your daddy did it or your mom did it or your brother or your cousin, whoever the case would be. Sometimes you do it because it's right for you. Yes, sir.
I was going to say Dandelion. We will be talking about that on Wednesday. Project 2025 for sure.
Yeah. There's a Project 45 too, 47. Look at that one too.
All I gotta say is Sheev Palpatine 2024. That's all.
Wow. One quick thing that's not related. What did you think of the Captain America 4 trailer? And do you think that the MCU is going in the right direction? Real quick, Shifty.
Oh.
I liked it, but it's going to have to make a lot of money to recover that budget because they reshot it twice supposedly, and it's
what's
nearing
400.
Yeah, it's up there.
I think it can make $1 billion.
Yeah, but I don't know.
If it's 400, 3 times that would be roughly $1.2 billion. I think
they're gonna have to do something awesome with the Red Hulk because it needs to make its money back.
It's coming out on Valentine's Day, which is kind of because traditionally movies that start in the first part of the year doesn't do well, so I'm a little leery of that. But maybe because Sam Wilson is black, maybe it can capitalize on Black History Month. I don't know, because
You know what the crazy thing is? The original villain was supposed to be Serpent Society or whatever, and Seth Rollins, the wrestler, was going to be in it, and he filmed his scenes. That totally cut out. Totally cut out. They rewrote it, and yeah, it's kind of a mess. So hopefully it's better now, but I don't know.
all right, Warren, what do you think? Did you like it? Do you think it's
I liked it. I liked it. It seemed after having to deal with Marvel's Nickelodeon trailer and Hoopty La, I like a serious tone. I got a serious tone from it, and it gave me some Winter Soldier vibes. So
Yeah.
I like it. I need a second trailer though, because we know there's a man behind a man. But I like it. So yeah.
All right, Brian, did you like it? You think it's moving MCU back into the right direction, or
See, I can believe it looked good. I can believe that they're going to try to do the right thing now. They understand, they're listening to everybody. They'll try to do the right thing. I have my own problems with the idea of Isaiah Bradley and all that stuff, but it looks good. I think it's going to make, $800 million, something like that. It's not going to be $1 billion movie, but it will make about 800 million. And part of the reasoning is because you're going into it in the wintertime. So it's still going to be cold in a lot of places, and you're not going to get the following is what you want.
and also too, what's going to depend on it is if it's competing against something.
That's true.
I don't know what's coming out in February or January, but
Probably Superman.
Superman's June 25th.
Yeah, June. Yeah, that's
right. June. Thanks, Shifty. Yeah, you got correct. Thanks for the correction.
Anzo, what do you think?
Yeah, looks good. I'm excited for it. I'm gonna go see it. It's definitely something I thought looked good. I like and again, Sam is Captain America. The real Captain America. I'm just saying, and hopefully they at least do something good with the Red Hulk, because they have been crapping on the Hulk for years. So
if they do a fight scene like the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk, it's gonna kill it. He gotta be just as on par as Edward Norton's Hulk. If he's not, then I'm a little fearful for it. But one thing I did see, his suit definitely got some upgrades. I see some Stark Tech in that. That sucker was like Wakanda booming like crazy.
It's Wakandian tech.
I know you got the Wakanda.
Yeah, vibranium.
You got the vibranium, but
no, but I think we're gonna find out that Shuri was helping him out a lot of this stuff, because first off, Stan was a dude, right? Red Hulk is a Hulk. He needs help.
Yeah,
that's just facts.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see an upgrade in the suit. You're gonna see him in one kind of suit at the beginning of the movie, and then when it comes with the showdown between him and the Red Hulk, you're gonna see that crazy Wakandian tech Hulk, maybe Hulk Master Falcon suit. I don't know what you call it. But
I don't mean to add on to the time. I'm just happy Sam's actually fighting, because I gotta say, Sam's track record in fighting in the movies, guy gets beat up more than he actually gets throwing the smackdown on somebody. So
yeah, he did. He got beat up by Ant-Man.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Byron. Did he take some kind of serum in the comic books?
No,
he's never. He is the one that has never had anything. So they're keeping with the lore. So I have no problem keeping with what it is. He is, but
he did have some kind of power, though.
Yeah, he could talk to birds.
Yeah, he could talk to birds. He had some kind of power.
Which
I don't know if he had super strength or anything like that, but
I think it was from his childhood, though.
I like the tech. I don't like that natural bird crap, because natural bird.
Oh yeah, the tech is better. Yeah, the tech is better.
All right, gentlemen, fantastic show as always. We'll be back here next Sunday at 8:00 p.m. to wrap this series up, the Acolyte season.
Thank God.
Episode 8. I don't know what the title is going to be, but this title was Choice. So let's make a choice to whether or not we watch it or not. But I hope the choice is we all be back here next Sunday, same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, y'all have a fantastic week. Check me and Anzo out on Tuesday as we'll be doing the watch party. And until then, have a good day. Peace.
Yeah. We ain't found.